having a pronunciation of letter H, consonant letter. So we put article a to become a eulogy, not an eulogy. So a eulogy is a powerful, memorable speech that is given at a funeral memorial service in order to help the mourners remember the deceased in a very special, unforgettable way. A eulogy is sometimes referred to as a tribute. It gives or highlights personal details that made the deceased a very special person to the speaker and to the mourners in general. Ladies and gentlemen, those viewing from all parts of the world, a eulogy is that speech that you give at the funeral, which puts the mourners to the point of remembering the good things of the person who is dead. And in most cases, whenever people are giving their eulogies, the mourners who have been quiet, who have been now settled to stop crying, again resume to cry, because they are moved by the passionate, well articulated, touching information about the deceased. So that is in the eulogy. It is memorable because you look at it and you really picture the events happening when the person was still alive. That's the eulogy. It is sometimes referred to as a tribute to someone. So when you are giving a tribute, it's the same as eulogy. So eulogizing, you are talking about the things, you highlight about the details with the person who is dead. The details of the person who is dead. What do you remember about the person? What good things do you remember about that person who is dead? So that is eulogizing. Eulogizing. When they say that you eulogize someone, whatever good thing you remember about the person is put into the category of what we call a eulogy. So when you try to come up with whatever information you want to say to the mourners on a given funeral occasion, that's going to be your eulogy. Because at the end, you will also be moved to the point of shedding some tears. You sometimes see people when they are when they are giving their speeches on funeral services, they sometimes end up by getting their handkerchiefs from the pockets and then pass them through their faces. It's because they have been touched on their hearts to the point of crying. So that is the eulogy. So format or structure of a eulogy. A eulogy has got a title, and the title can be written as, for example, a tribute to, you put the name of the person, or a eulogy in memory of, you put the name of the person you are going to talk about. Then, from the title, we have the protocol. You know very well what is taken under protocol, that is observing order in terms of rank. We have the greeting, and the greeting is a continuation of the protocol paragraph. Self-introduction. Self-introduction is the second paragraph, whereby you tell us your name, you tell us your title, your post, and role. Now, under self-introduction, under the body, we have what we call state your relationship with the deceased. This is the middle part. State your relationship with the deceased and how you met or got to know each other. Also, talk about when and how you came to know of the deceased's demise and the cause of death. If known, state some of the deceased's good qualities and try to move the audience by reminding them of the positive contributions the deceased made to the entire community. While doing this, try to create the great bond of connection that the deceased still has with the living world. Conclude the speech in a sad, moving, powerful way with an encouraging hope or wish the family members well. We know what we call condolence letters. with a eulogy, it has some part of a condolence letter, whereby what is being stated here, what you are going to say in your speech, when we go back to letters, that is called a condolence letter. It has this aspect whereby you are supposed to state how you came to know of the deceased's death, sickness, at what time did the person die, your relationship with the deceased, what are the good contributions of the deceased to the community, what do you remember about the person, how did you come to know the person, and try to connect his contributions to the living world, as well as you conclude by encouraging the family with hopeful words. So in this case, as you continue with your speech, a eulogy, after coming up with a title, now you have observed the protocol, you have introduced yourself. Now the middle part of it, what the information you are going to say in front of these mourners must include your relationship with the deceased. How are you related to the deceased? Were you a friend? Were you what? Then, how did you meet? Then from there, when and how did you come to know of the deceased's death? What was the cause of the death, if you know? And then, what are the good qualities that you think you remember about the deceased? Then from there, what are the good things that the deceased did for the community? Then, try to connect whatever things that the deceased did as in good faith with the living world. And then conclude your speech with encouraging words. Note: the tone used herein should be mournful, sad, sorrowful, enough to create a somber atmosphere, as well put the mourners in that sad moment of great loss. When people are giving eulogies, everyone is sad, everyone is in that mournful state, because you have lost someone, assuming that maybe you have been invited forward to give us a eulogy, a speech which is in terms of a eulogy, which is a eulogy here now, because when the speech given on a funeral is a eulogy. Maybe you have been crying in the garden, maybe you have been crying in the house, then they invite you. Of course you'll go when your mood is sad, deep buried behind the face that has been crying. So when you are giving an address, when you are giving the speech, it has to bring out that situation, that atmosphere of mourning. For example, you take note of how I'm going to be reading through, taking you through this sample of eulogy. Sample of eulogy. A tribute to Mr. Joseph Musisi, presented by Kamoga David on 4th November 2020 in Christ the King Church at 10 a.m. That is the title. You come up with the title. Second to that, we are going to protocol, observation. The clergy, you listen to me. The area member of parliament, local council leaders, elders, fellow mourners, members of the bereaved family, ladies and gentlemen, I greet you all. My name is Sekito Joshua, the Executive Director of Caris Publishing Company and the best friend to the deceased, who has left very deep holes that cannot be filled in our hearts. It was around 4 a.m. yesterday that I received the sad news of Joseph's passing on. He had been battling cancer for the past 2 years and finally succumbed to it yesterday at around 3:30 a.m. in the morning. Joseph and I first met in high school, and it is from there that we became close friends. I quite remember him encouraging me to take literature at high school then, which literature has done me proud today. All the alumni of our school remember Joseph for his respect, love, compassion, and generosity. The residents of Kabila can best attest to this by virtue of the fact that he has been sponsoring some of their children in very good boarding schools, despite the fact that he held no political office. His last wish was that these children continue benefiting from his funding until they all graduate from university. It goes without saying that Joseph was a darling to everyone who crossed his path, known and strange, young and old alike. Goodbye is the hardest thing to say because it makes my throat hurt. But like Ronald Barthes put it, a farewell is necessary before we can meet again. And meeting again after moments or a lifetime is certain for those who are friends. I know I will see you again. Joseph, so fare thee well, my friend, till we meet again. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you have heard me. That tone, the mood that is within the voice of the speaker makes the audience, it moves the audience to the point of restarting to cry again, to mourn, to remember, by presenting the good things about the person, by presenting the information how the person came to realize of the death of the deceased, by talking about the things how they met, by talking about what connected them, by mentioning the good things of what the person has done, moves the audience to the point of remembering and then crying for the person who is dead. Ladies and gentlemen, when you look at this tribute or eulogy, remember we have the title, we have the protocol paragraph when you are observing rank, then a greeting which ends with a greeting or it has no difference with the other speeches. Then second to that, the second paragraph is self-introduction. From self-introduction, you tell us or you state that how you came to know of the deceased's death, what was the cause of the death, how you and the deceased met, because you are in front of these people, you have been given a chance because you are a special person to the person who is dead and the family. And then what you remember about the person, and as a group, do you have some other members who studied with him or have been working with the person? Tell us, what are the good things that this person who is dead has done for the public? Because that is when you are trying to connect the things done by the deceased to the living world. And then encourage the family. Conclude your speech by encouraging the family and saying via the wishing the dead person to rest in peace. You get it? Then from there, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to move to the vote of thanks. Vote of thanks or thank you notes. These are all speeches. Let me hope you are grasping. These are basically written to thank people who have been helpful to us in one way or another. It encourages them to continue being kind and offer hospitality to others as well. It also reflects the kind of person the writer is. Vote of thanks. These ones are given to basically thank someone. After you going through something, being helped by someone, you go back and appreciate the work they did for you, the support they gave you. So as you appreciate, it gives them a strong point of continuing to help others. This is where the word charity is driven from. When you help someone for free without expecting something, and that person comes back and appreciates, it gives you that strong heart of continuing to help others so that they can reach to a certain level, maybe where you are or where others are. Now, points to consider when you are writing a thank you note. It should be brief. It should be confined to the purpose for which it is written, which means conveying gratitude, that you are thankful. The choice of words or register is influenced by the relationship between the writer and the receiver. The person you're writing to and you. The words used within the thank you note or the vote of thanks. It depends on the relationship between the two of you. Are you writing to the person you know, the father, parent, church, what? However, respectful of the above, the language must be cautious and endearing. Example of a vote of thanks. We have one here, a vote of thanks. A vote of thanks to Bishop Paulo Kanunura. So listen carefully. This is how it goes. Your Lordship, on behalf of my husband and on my own behalf, I would like to thank you so much for the support you rendered to us in preparation for and during our wedding. We greatly appreciate the moral, spiritual, and financial support you gave to us. Words are even not enough to express how grateful we are for this. Are you seeing how things are? You literally moved helter-skelter and ensured that everything went on as had earlier been planned. I don't know what we would have done without you. May the good Lord richly replenish your pockets and may He bless you abundantly. Thank you so much once again. You sign, then you put the name on the right hand side. This is a vote of thanks. It is brief, concise, and precise, confined in the essence of thanking or showing gratitude. You get it? So task. Imagine you are contesting for the post of entertainment prefect in your school. Write a speech that you would present before administrators, teachers, and fellow students during open day campaigns in your school. Imagine you are contesting for the post of entertainment prefect in your school. Write a speech that you would present before administrators, teachers, and fellow students during open day campaigns in your school. Speeches are covered. Up next, Curriculum Vitae. Be there to subscribe and follow. Please. For the ones who want to attempt this task, you can forward, if you have a computer, you can do the work in Word format. Forward, submit, send the work on my email. That is mugoyajo@gmail.com. I'm spelling Mugoya. Mugoya. It is MUGOYAJO @gmail.com. Send it on that email. I will mark it in Word form and then send it back. Then for those ones who want to do, you can do in your books and take to your teachers for marking. Thank you so much.